Hey, what's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome into Fantasy Filmball, the show where we turn movies into sports and sports into something we don't talk about here. My name is Matt.
My name is Dyl. You know what time it is. Draft time. Everyone's favorite time of the week. And I'm feeling pretty good because coming off of last week, I pretty much wiped the floor. Almost 75% of the vote went with Team Dyl.
Man.
But Everything Everywhere Moonlight Tandem was just too strong.
Oh, God. Damn. Yeah, you killed me on that one. So you get first pick this week.
Yeah, I'm really excited because 2023 has actually been a pretty good year for movies. So I guess to clarify what our draft is this week, we are drafting Q1 releases because we are officially at the end of the first quarter of 2023. It has flown by so far. And I guess I should say I have seen 19 movies that have come out this year so far. Matt, how many have you seen?
I have seen 31. But that said, a lot of these were festival films last year. I think I've been to the theater under 10 times this year so far. Maybe even less than that. Probably like 5 times I've been to the theater. I haven't seen a ton out there. And most of my favorite stuff is stuff that I saw last year that has released now.
Interesting. So we probably won't have much overlap for what we're trying to pick here, but that's what's going to make this game fun is because we're kind of just getting to draft what our actual 5 favorites are without really having to think about what the other person's going to take. With that being said, though, I'm not drafting my favorite movie of the year because I can wait on that one. I am drafting a movie I very much enjoyed and we've been talking about a lot this week, and that is John Wick Chapter 4. It is arguably the biggest blockbuster. I shouldn't say the biggest, but this is obviously the best blockbuster to come out so far this year. It's got amazing stunt work. It has some very interesting visuals, and it's just a good dumb fun time. Like you can turn your brain off 2.5, nearly 3 hours, and just sit back and enjoy what this chapter has to offer.
That's the easy first choice. I mean, that's the one that I think everyone is talking about at the moment. It's a big movie that people absolutely love. So I think that's a good first pick overall. Might not have been my first pick because it's not my favorite movie of the year, but this is, because I'm going to be going with Rye Lane, which just released on Disney+. It is, oh God, the only movie that I've seen this year so far that I would give a 10 out of 10. It is essentially Before Sunrise, directed with the energy of like a Spike Jones Apple commercial. That's the best way I can describe this. It's about someone who's just gone through a breakup who meets this woman and they walk around London together. And that's the movie. It's about the love of life and about seeing things positively. And, oh my God, the filmmaker behind this, Rain Allen Miller, I cannot wait to see everything she does next because she is one of the most exciting voices in cinema, and this is it's going to end the year as one of the best films of the year. Dylan, you haven't seen it yet, but I can't wait to talk to you next week about it, because talk about bombastic, there it is again, that's the word. Ooh. Talk about bombastic, this movie is fucking crazy, and it is the best movie of the year, and may end the year being in my top 5. It's fantastic. And after that, I am going to... This is really hard at this point. I'm going to say Dungeons & Dragons is ineligible because neither of us have seen it yet at the point of recording this. It should be eligible, but we wouldn't have much to say about the film at this point. We'd just be saying like, oh, I guess I've heard that it's really good. So I guess I'll just say, I guess I've heard that Dungeons & Dragons is really good, but I'm not going to pick it because it wouldn't be very fair seeing as neither of us have seen the movie. So the next pick I'm going to go with is Missing, which I'm sorry to take that from you. I know you probably wanted that movie pretty badly.
I did.
It's a really well done thriller. It's incredibly satisfying in what it attempts to do and what it succeeds at doing. It steps up the formula in many ways from Searching, and in other ways it doesn't quite deliver on it. But you know what? I think overall this one is pretty freaking stellar.
Those are 2 great picks. I haven't seen Rye Lane yet, and we could talk next week. I'm like, yeah, I fumbled the bag. I didn't pick the right movie at number 1, but that's just what happens when you live here in America and the movies come out on Hulu on Friday, and it is not Friday yet. And Missing is a really great movie. I personally like it a little bit more than John Wick, but I know when Missing came out, it was a little bit more divisive. Great movie. The next movie I have is one I like more than Missing, and that is Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan's newest movie. Seems to be a little bit divisive. I don't really see why. It seems pretty straightforward, fun, enjoyable time. Another one like John Wick Chapter 4 where you can kind of just turn your brain off, sit back, and this one for only under 2 hours. Just have a fun, enjoyable trip, go on all these twists and turns, and I think overall just come out with just a good theater or at-home viewing experience. To pair that with is another movie that just recently came out, but I also kind of feel the same here. Q1 has presented a lot of movies that maybe won't hold much strength throughout the whole year, but very fun, very enjoyable, and just good, like, mind killers while you're there at the theater to watch them. And that would be Scream 6. This would not be my favorite Scream in the franchise, but it's nowhere near the bottom. It's probably my number 2 or number 3. I thought it was very inventive with some angles they went at with the story. There's some very fun, very adventurous kills, and overall just a pretty funny movie as well. And Matt, I know that you're not a huge fan of the Scream franchise. You don't really watch many of them.
I've only seen the first one, and I watched it like a month ago. It was good.
There is a specific scene in Scream 6 that has some of the best tension-building cinematography and, like, I wouldn't say choreography, but just the way they place individuals during a train sequence. I just thought was so impressive and had one of the best scares and, like, tension-building moments of the year. So that is going to be my third pick for the first quarter of the 2023 draft.
Those are good picks. Knock at the Cabin, we both really liked. Admittedly, I don't know anything about Scream. I'm not a big slasher guy, but I'm sure that I've heard good things about this one. It seemed like it really satisfied what the fans want. And for another movie that satisfied what the fans want, I gotta go with M3gan. Megan, the future Oscar Best Picture winner, which I loved. I thought this was just a fucking blast. It was so stupid and so funny and so dumb. It's so dumb. I dug Megan. I think it was a blast to see at the movies. And then the next one I'm going to go with is one that I know you are not very hot on, so I could probably wait till number 5 for this, because you're not going to pick Infinity Pool, but I'm going to pick Infinity Pool. Infinity Pool is a dark movie that has some cool twists and turns. It's got a great Mia Goth performance. She's always killing it. I guess I gotta go for my Canadians here. I'm going to stick up for the Canadians and stick up for Brandon Cronenberg and say Infinity Pool will be my 4th pick.
Good picks both there. I was really thinking I was going to walk out of here with my top 5, but one of my top 5 movies you picked already with Missing. So I guess for this next pick, I have to go down to number 6. Not going to say too much about this movie other than it was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate the cinematography choices and the sound choices used with this movie, but that would be Creed 3. I think it's the second best of this current Creed franchise, and I would say the third best Rocky movie if you include the whole Rocky franchise in there as well. Fun movie, not much to think about after watching it, but while it's on, it's a good time. So that leaves me with my 5th and final pick, and there's 2 ways I can go for this. I can go with what has been my favorite viewing experience for the year, even though it's not technically a movie, it's more of a concert documentary. Or I could go with another dumb, fun, turn your brain off type movie. And I think for the nature of this game, I shouldn't pick the live concert mini movie, documentary, whatever you want to call it, that only premiered on HBO Max. So with my 5th and final pick, give me Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Nice. That's a good one. I haven't seen it yet, but I love the first Magic Mike movie.
I think this is the least, you could call it sexy of the 3 movies, but I think it has the best capturing of dance between the 3 movies. So it's definitely the most, I think, grounded may not be the right word, but the least fun of the 3. But I think it accomplishes its goal in a very fun fashion.
I'll finish off my team, but first I'll just say this does not represent my favorite movies of the year, because if I picked the favorite ones that I have so far, I would have 4 out of 5 movies that I don't think most viewers on our channel would have heard of. And that's why I didn't do it. You said you had 4 out of 5 of your top 5. I only have 1 out of 5 of my top 5. And that's because the other films in my top 5 would be The Five Devils, which is a French film released by Mubi that just came out. The Exiles, which is a documentary that won Sundance last year, and it was released in January. I'd also pick Godland, which is coming to the Criterion Collection eventually. It was released by Janus Films. It's an Icelandic film that's beautiful. And also The Worst Ones. So shout out to all of those movies. But no one knows those movies, so I'm not going to pick those movies because I would lose, because no one's heard of The Worst Ones or The Exiles or The Five Devils. Great movies, and you should all hear about them. But I'm going to go a little bit cheating here, a little bit cheating. I'm going to pick a movie that has not released in the United States, but is in theatrical release in Canada right now.
Fair enough.
Should hopefully be released in the States. LETTERBOXD is promoting the shit out of this movie. They post every trailer of this. I don't even think it has a US distributor at this point. It is very popular in Canada, and that movie is Chandler Levac's I Like Movies, which I am a huge fucking fan of. This movie is so goddamn sweet and so funny. It is a film about a kid, a teenager, a kind of douchey 16-year-old boy. Movies are his life. Can't we all relate to that? And he gets a job working at essentially a Blockbuster Video. It's kind of a knockoff Blockbuster Video. And the film is about him learning not to be a piece of shit human being. It is hilarious. It has great Shrek jokes. It has great Todd Solondz jokes. It has just great movie jokes throughout. It also is so regionally specific to me, where I grew up in. I grew up in southwestern Ontario, and this movie is set there. And so there's a lot of jokes that really hit me hard as someone there. They make a joke about the university that I went to, and so many other things that just warm my heart. I have had a chance to speak with the director of this movie. It's wonderful. And when it comes out in America, I hope it's a huge, huge success, because it deserves it. It's a fantastic movie. I hope that wasn't cheating too much, because it's, it's technically a release, but also not.
I'm going to count it because it is Q1 for where you're at. So it fits the rules and the parameters of this game. And I guess for people out there who are wondering, the one I passed up on was The Weekend Live at SoFi Stadium. It's an HBO Max concert documentary. Don't feel like that would be as fair. And also, I don't know who has gone out there and actually watched it. But yes, I ended up getting 4, 5 of my top 8 movies, and you drafted one of the other of the top 8. So I at least feel pretty well represented so far.
I'm pretty happy with my team. There's definitely some that I'm not as fond of on mine, but I think that this is right for... I'm giving the people what they want,
Yeah.
What do they want? They want Megan dancing.
The people, they more want Team Dill, because they get John Wick, Chapter 4, A Knock at the Cabin, Scream 6, Creed 3, and Magic Mike's Last Dance.
We'll see. And if they go for me, they're going to get Rye Lane, which I hope everyone's seen by the time this video releases. Go watch it on Disney Plus or Hulu if you have not seen it, because it's awesome. Missing, Megan /M3gan, Infinity Pool, and I Like Movies.
So, everyone out there, make sure to go cast your vote. And honestly, if you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment down. Let us know what movies we missed. Because yes, I really want to draft 80 for Brady, but I couldn't find room for it. Another dumb fun time would have fit just well in with my team. But until next time, my name is Dill.
And my name is Matt, and this is Fantasy Filmball.